SVR IAS Academy welcomes you to the online video lectures for IAS 2016 and 2017 examination. ComeOnIndia.com is our website. In today's current affairs video lecture, you will see some important topics like first topic is recently scientists discovered three potentially habitable planets. There is a definition for potentially habitable planets. What is that? And second topic that we are going to see is insolvency and bankruptcy code. Insolvency and bankruptcy code. It is a very important topic for GS paper 3 in mains 2016, and for prelims also it is a very important topic. And third is we need to develop an integrated action plan to tackle drought. Center and state should coordinate all the activities, financial resources, and put an integrated plan so that we can tackle the drought in future. And fourth important topic that we are going to see is regarding global positioning system. We should make it mandatory for all public transport vehicles to get installed with GPS, or after a couple of months maybe with NAVIC. You might have heard about NAVIC. It's a new name for IRNSS. IRNSS stands for Indian Regional Navigation Satellite System. Indian Regional Navigation Satellite System. Now it is called as NAVIC. NAVIC stands for Navigation with the Indian Constellation. Navigation with the Indian Constellation is the new name for India's own global positioning system. It is called as India's own GPS. So let's start the video lecture. Now let's discuss the first topic, that three potentially habitable planets were discovered by international team of scientists. International team of scientists discovered three Earth-like planets. Let's describe what are Earth-like planets. In this image, draw a star. Consider this as a star, and here this is our sun in our solar system, and here you can locate our Earth, and here you can draw Earth-like planets. Earth-like planets. The important points here is that distance between the sun and Earth or Earth-like planets should be similar. It should be of similar distance approximately, and size of the Earth-like planet should be similar to that of Earth. Size should be similar so that rotation all will be similar. Two important points you should remember regarding distance and size, which should be similar to the Earth. Another important point is that Earth-like planets are also called as twin Earth or Earth analog or twin Earth, so on. The surface should be terrestrial. Our planet is a terrestrial planets, and planets like Jupiter, Saturn are called as gaseous planets or gas giants. So Earth-like planet must be terrestrial and its Earth surface and surface of the Earth-like planet should be similar and should be terrestrial in nature. The three Earth-like planets orbit a sun. Our sun is nothing but a star. Star can be defined as it has the ability to release the light because of the nuclear fusion reaction that is taking place inside the stars. Remember, in the stars and sun, nuclear fusion reaction is taking place. It's an important area for prelims every year. In the nuclear fusion reaction, hydrogen is converted into helium. Hydrogen is converted into helium. These three Earth-like planets orbit a dwarf star. In our general science video lecture, we will define about dwarf star, black hole, etc. So, three Earth-like planets orbit a dwarf star, and size and temperature of the three Earth-like planets are comparable to Earth and Venus. Venus is important from prelims point of view because in our solar system we have 8 planets. Only Venus and Earth have similar size and other features are common, so that both are called as twins. Earth and Venus, the combination called as twins in our solar system. The importance of three Earth-like planets is that it provides first opportunity to find out chemical traces of life outside our solar system. Already we discussed we have 8 planets in our solar system and many satellites or moons. NASA, Roscosmos, ISRO and other European space agencies have sent many missions to find out whether trace of life or chemical elements present in our other planets for life. It's the first time the three Earth-like planets provides opportunity to find out chemical traces of life outside our solar system, because the important thing is distance matters. From our solar system, all other systems are located very far away. But discovery of the recent, the dwarf star with the 3 Earth-like planets are very close to our solar system. Just you can say like it is located here, just 39 light years. 39 light years away from our solar system. It makes its distance is very short, so it provides opportunity to find out chemical elements. Now you may ask a question, 39 light years. Here, what is light year? It is very important for prelims examination, and the first point is that light year is not a unit of time. It is not unit of time. It is the unit of length. It is the unit of length. Is the first important point, because it carries the term year. So you may misunderstood that it is a unit of time, but it is a unit of length. Another important advantage with the 3 Earth-like planets is that they are located very close to our solar system, So they are just 39 light years away from our solar system. Light year is the unit of length to used to measure the astronomical distances, mainly used to measure the distance of stars from our solar system. So it is very close, so that by using our current technology, we can analyze the atmospheres of the Earth-like planets. If distance is far away, we need to develop new technologies to analyze the atmospheres of Earth-like planets. So these planets are very close to our Earth. So by using our current technology, we can analyze the atmospheres of Earth-like planets. It is another important advantage. Recently, scientists discovered the 3 Earth-like planets by using a telescope called as 60 centimeter telescope. 60 centimeter telescope, which is installed in Chile. Chile is the country located in South American continent. And the telescope is called as TRAPPIST. And the main objective of the TRAPPIST telescope is to track the dwarf stars. Remember, it's a very important point. The main objective of the TRAPPIST telescope is to find out several dwarf stars. Dwarf stars are not too big and not too hot enough to be identified with the optical telescope. So they are not too hot and they are not too big, so that we can't use the optical telescope. For that, we need to use other kind of telescope, which is called as TRAPPIST telescope. The concept red world, you must know. Red world is nothing but, in the center there is a ultra cool dwarf star, and around the dwarf star, planets must orbit the dwarf star. There is a belief among the scientists that planets won't rotate and revolve around dwarf star, and scientists recently discovered 3 Earth-like planets which are revolving around the dwarf star. So it's one of the important discovery, and this world is called as red world. Planets orbiting the dwarf star is called as red world. So far it was a hypothetical situation. The red world concept was hypothetical, and so the recent discovery of the 3 Earth-like planets which are orbiting the dwarf planet confirms the red world concept. Now let's move to the second topic of the day, that is insolvency and bankruptcy code. Insolvency and bankruptcy code. It is a GS paper 3 topic and is very important expected area for prelims and mains 2016. It is waiting for the parliamentary approval, and now recommendations are given, and soon it will go to the parliament for the approval. Once it's approved, we'll cover in detail about this topic. First, let's understand what is insolvency in economics. Insolvency in economics is simple. Banks or lenders or provides funds to the individual or an organization for doing business, and later, if this organization or individual is unable to pay the money or loan got it from the banks, means the condition is called as insolvency. So If an individual or organization is insolvent means banks can initiate legal actions against the individual or organization. In India, non-performing assets and defaulters of loan are increasing, and almost is a worth of 100 billion US dollars bad loan. Imagine 100 billion US dollars. 100 billion US dollars is approximately 6,60,000 crore Indian rupees. In Indian value, it amounts to more than 6 lakh crores. Imagine how much amount we have as a bad loan. So, if government passes insolvency and bankruptcy code, it will strengthen the banks, it will strengthen the hands of banks in resolving the 100 billion US dollars bad loan. Even if the bill is passed, it will take some years to train insolvency professionals. Insolvency professionals we need to train. It may take some years, and also we need to compile debt records. So we need to have the uniform debt records across the India. So it will take a couple of years to prepare both. Imagine our insolvency law at present is centuries old and was enacted by British. So in the last 100 years, we didn't amend or change the insolvency law. So now government plans to repeal the in effect law, that is insolvency law, and also aims to amend 11 more laws which are currently dealing with defaulters. Once the insolvency and bankruptcy code is fully implemented, it will speed up the debt recoveries. It will speed up debt recoveries and restructuring of the loans, and by using a deadline 180 days. Remember, 180 days is a very important prelims point. After enactment of this code, that is insolvency and bankruptcy code, 180 days deadline will be put in place for debt recoveries and loan restructuring and so on. Another important point is that insolvency and bankruptcy code will apply to the companies, partnership firms, limited liability partnerships and individuals, and also any other body specified by Government of India. For companies, the resolution process should be completed within 180 days. If a company means the resolution process should be completed within 180 days, and additional 90 days can be allotted if more than 75% of the creditors means banks or any other persons who lend the money to the company, if more than 75% of the creditors agree to extend the timeline by another 90 days, so 90 days can be allotted additionally for the companies to go for the resolution process. What is the resolution process here? Here, debtor, that is company, and creditors or banks sit together and make a draft plan within 180 days or 180 days plus 90 days additional if more than 75% of the creditors agree for the extension of the timeline. They will prepare a draft plan to solve the problem of insolvency. In case no agreement is reached between company which is defaulted and creditors who lended the money to the company, then automatically the company will go for liquidation. The liquidation process will be managed by insolvency professionals. Insolvency professionals. Here it may take couple of years to train insolvency professionals. Once the bill, insolvency and bankruptcy code is passed, it may take couple of years to train such professionals. Under the insolvency code, insolvency regulator would be set up. Insolvency regulator would be set up. It will have representatives from government, RBI, that is a central bank. So the insolvency regulator oversees and regulates the insolvency agencies. Apart from that, National Company Law Tribunal will address the grievances relating to the insolvency, bankruptcy and liquidation of companies. If the companies which are liquidated are not happy with the process, they can approach National Company Law Tribunal for redressal of their grievances. Even the affected party is not happy with the decision of National Company Law Tribunal, they can go for appellate tribunals and finally they can approach Supreme Court for redressal of their grievances. Another important point for the prelims exam is that debtors can be jailed up to 5 years. Up to 5 years for concealing the property or defrauding creditors. If they conceal the property, then they can be jailed up to 5 years. Third topic of the day is the need for integrated action plan to tackle drought. Generally, if any problem arises and the problem persists in only one state, means there is no need for the integrated action plan. If the problem affects more than one state, like interstate water dispute, or interstate trade, commerce, which are involving many states, and recently the drought which affected many states, and droughts and interstates we can link, interstate river we can link. So we should manage the interstate river water resources effectively and efficiently. For that, coordination between the states which are affected by drought is very important. In this background, recently a meeting held between Cabinet Secretary and Chief Secretaries of 13 states and Secretaries of various ministries like Ministry of Drinking Water and Sanitation, Ministry of Rural Development, Department of the Land Resources. In the review meeting, it is decided to have an integrated action plan to tackle drought. In this background, we strongly advise you to prepare well on drought, how to define drought, what are the various types of drought like hydrological drought, meteorological drought and so on. So learn about all types of drought and what are the reasons for drought in India, how can we manage drought effectively, and what are all the steps taken by Government of India so far to tackle the drought. So prepare well on these topics, and the drought is very important for prelims and mains 2016 examination. So prepare on this topic from all angles. important schemes, policies which are dealing with drought. Everything is important related to drought. So prepare well on this topic. So central government and state governments should take steps to tackle that drought situation, and we need to take measures for optimally utilizing and storing the rainwater, and also we should take measures for water conservation and so on. For that, we can construct farm ponds, community ponds, check dams, and so on. So remember, this point is one of the steps we can take to tackle the drought. We can construct the farm ponds, community ponds, check dams, and various desilting measures should be taken, and central government should release the funds as soon as possible for water harvesting measures, because Indian Meteorological Department predicted in the year 2016 monsoon will get good rainfall, or you can say above rainfall. So before monsoon occurs, central government should release the funds to the states so that state governments can construct rain harvesting methods can be implemented. Is an urgent measure. If monsoon is over and there is no use of constructing the rain harvesting methods, so funds should be released as soon as possible so that state governments should construct the rain harvesting structures and measures. Now let's move to the last topic of the day, that is on GPS. GPS stands for Global Positioning System, and we expect you might be using GPS in your smartphone, and recently government is planning to make it mandatory for all public transport vehicles, whether bus or any other public transport vehicles, to have GPS installed in their vehicles. What is the purpose of making it mandatory? If GPS installed in a vehicle, it can be tracked in the real time. It can be traced in the real time. First, let's understand what are all the various benefits of GPS. Just look at the image. The buses installed with GPS, and the GPS embedded transport vehicle, if moves, we can trace the signal by using satellite, and the signal will be transmitted to the GSM base station and from the station to the control room. Recently, Government of India made it mandatory for the mobile phone manufacturers to insert emergency button, to make emergency button from 2017 onwards. If you press a particular number, say number 5, press for long term, then it will indicate you are in the emergency, and your message will be delivered to the emergency response team which are located in the control room, and they will trace your location by using the mobile signal. If GPS and along with emergency button is used, we can trace the location of the vehicle easily. Take an example. Consider this as a transport vehicle, and it is installed with GPS, and in 2017 all mobile phones must have emergency button. If a woman travels in the bus and if she is in emergency, she can press the emergency button and the signal will be delivered to the control room, and the control room, by using the location of the mobile phone as well as by using the GPS installed in the bus, police can track the location of the vehicle on real-time basis, and if Such a scheme is implemented as an emergency button plus GPS made mandatory for all public transport vehicles. The instances like Nirbhaya case or instance might have avoided. Now let us discuss various advantages of using GPS. GPS is useful for monitoring the vehicle on real-time basis. And GPS is useful to check the speed of the vehicle while on the road. And GPS also very useful to locate the vehicle exactly where the vehicle is traveling. And GPS also useful to provide timely assistance in case of emergency. These are the points that you can write in the mains GS paper 3. The topic is applications of science and technology in our day-to-day life, or you can say role of ICT in our day-to-day life. So prepare well on GPS, how it works, and what are the various applications of GPS. Recently, Ministry of Road and Transport has made a draft notification to make all public transport vehicles safer for passengers and women. Ministry of Road Transport is planning to make it mandatory for all public transport vehicles to have GPS installed. Along with GPS, alarm button and CCTV cameras should be installed. So 3 things should be installed. One is GPS, and second is CCTV camera, and third is alert button. According to the draft notification, if the public transport vehicle has a seating capacity of more than 23 means, they must install all the 3: GPS, alarm or emergency button, and CCTV camera. If the public transport vehicle has the seating capacity of less than 23 means, only 2 things can be installed: tracking device, that is GPS, and emergency button. So prepare well on these 4 topics, and to get more video lectures for IAS 2016 and IAS 2017 in the online format, visit our website commonindia.com, and thank you.